Hey everybody, Bill Murphy here with MMORPG.com. We're back this week with another episode of MMOFTW, the week that was MMO news. And believe it or not, for the first time in a while, we actually have a lot of news, and it's actually good stuff. So why don't we get right to it with some Daybreak Games, formerly Sony Online Entertainment news, with the announcement of their brand new Executive Creative Director. That is, of course, Jens Andersen. Now, those of you some of you may or may not be familiar with Jens's name, but he's been the driving force for a long time behind DC Universe Online and its success, both on consoles and on PC, but especially on consoles. He is now taking the additional responsibility of creative direction for H1Z1, PlanetSide 2, EverQuest Next, and more importantly, probably, a new unannounced title that has yet to be revealed by Daybreak. There's an email press release. We reached out to Daybreak. We're going to be chatting with Jens this coming week, and we'll find out how he feels about the move, about what his plans are for the games, and just how much longer we have to wait until we hear something new from EverQuest Next. So that's some pretty good news. It's nice to see some stuff kind of settling, the dust settling over at Daybreak Games, and maybe we'll now start to hear about some of those new games that we've been waiting for. EverQuest Next. And in Elder Scrolls Online news, just a couple months now after the release, not even a month, maybe just a couple weeks, right? After the release of the Elder Scrolls Online's Imperial City DLC, we now have news of the second DLC pack coming out called Orsinium. Orsinium is brand new, massive PvE content for players of all levels. You'll be able to adventure through upwards of 20 hours of captivating new content, new dungeons, new quests, new storyline. There's a new solo arena challenge called the Maelstrom Arena, where you'll get 9 combat rings and 2 difficulty levels to test your might and compete in leaderboards that are class-based. There are new public dungeons, Old Orsinium, and I might get this wrong, Rekindleft, the sprawling public dungeons, with new challenges for both solos and groups. And of course, there's Orsinium exclusive rewards and items, including new powerful gear, unique crafting styles, and other rewards inspired by the history and denizens of Hrothgar. Now, what's cool about Orsinium, if you're like me, is that it's all around northern areas, and it's very prominently featuring the orcs, who are my favorite race in the Elder Scrolls, and pretty much any time an orc is featured, they're my favorite race. So that's really cool news. Moving along to TERA, there's going to be a brand new starter zone called the Lost Isle opening next week on October 13th. NMAS Entertainment announced that the starter zone will be live in the game beginning Tuesday. It'll replace the current starter zone called the Island of Dawn that we're all by now very familiar with. The new location offers a more accelerated path to level 11 to get you into the core of the game, but there's a whole bunch of other new additions coming too. The character creation process has been updated to allow players to mix and match races and classes on a single screen, so that characters can be moved around and shuffled around and take a view at all their different possibilities. The Gridiron Academy is a brand new PvP battleground for non-max level players that is from level 40 to 64, and of course the level 65, it's of the level 65 map, so it's sort of like your testing ground for that top tier level 65 battleground. And the Returning Hero is a brand new feature for players with high-level characters in order to give them a boost if they've been away for a while. When they come back in, the first 3 days on return will allow players to see a Returning Hero tab with information about class skills and how to upgrade their gear and where to go and what to do, all that kind of stuff. It's a good thing for a game, especially like TERA, where a lot of people sort of play it. They play it for maybe a few weeks and then they go away for a while and they come back. It's kind of a nice new feature that they're adding to the game. Again, this update goes live on October 13th, and if you keep your eyes peeled, we just may have some cool codes to give away on Tuesday as well. And speaking of free-to-play games that are getting new content, Rift this past week was updated with Into the Wilds, patch 3.4. This one is fantastic. For those of you who haven't played Rift in a while and you're looking for a reason to come back, the brand new Primalist calling, which is 6 new classes or 6 new souls, has been added to the game. Very fun to play very fun to play calling, with this sort of mechanic between fury and cunning that you have to balance. It's kind of interesting in a lot of different ways. Plus, they've got ranged souls, they have DPS souls, they have tank souls, healer souls, whatever you want to play, you can play it. A huge new zone, massive new zone. It's the the plain-touched wilds, which have been gone. The ancestral homeland of the Bami has been gone for a long time, but now it's back, and you can explore it, and it kind of drives the story a little bit more as we work, presumably, towards Rift 4.0 in the next expansion. It is live now, free for all players. Of course, the class, the Primalist, the calling itself costs money. I think it's about 2,900 Rift credits, or whatever they call them, gems. I'm not sure what it is, honestly. But you can also get it in a Into the Wilds pack for $100, which of course is pretty big. But you get a lot in that Into the Wilds pack. There's a whole bunch of good stuff too. And anybody who plays now, whether they spend money in the store or not, is going to get stuff on October 10th. You're going to get, which is today, as I'm recording this, you're going to get 160% Transcendent Experience Vial. On October 11th, you're going to get an Artifact Hunter's Bundle. October 12th, you'll get more stuff. 13th, more stuff. The 14th, more stuff. 15th, 16th, as you see, you just kind of keep getting this stuff for free. So that's pretty cool. And if at the very first time, all the way through October 30th, the very first time you log into the game, you get the Wild Celebration Pack, which gives you a free Seafoam Crab Mount, Ascended Gifts, Shalistri Weapon Costume Pack, a Trove of Boots, an overcompensating Crystallized Insight, which gives you 1,000,000 Planar Attunement XP, and a whole bunch of stuff. Pretty cool, actually, considering they're trying to just get everybody to come back to the game and try out this new content. And last but not least, in the Star Wars The Old Republic news, right before we head into the Knights of the Fallen Empire expansion later this month, it turns out they're detailing how the new missions and the new core world changes are going to be streamlining the leveling experience. Basically what you're having now is not only is the experience curve going to be dropped significantly, not quite as badly as the current 12 times story XP, but a critical path arc will guide players along the most important story and class quests on each planet, which will be represented by a special color, purple, for both the map icon and the quest tracker. Quests not part of the critical path or not part of the heroic missions collection will be considered exploration missions, which will basically a way to say these are not important, and they will continue to reward players with credit, experience, gear, and all that stuff. So, quick recap, there's going to be a purple triangle to tell you when the critical story is, a gold triangle to tell you what the side missions and the way to unlock flashpoints is, arrow triangle will be repeatable missions including heroic missions, and the star triangle, not star triangle, but yes, there's a triangle with a star in it. These are the exploration missions, optional missions on each planet that can be completed at any level. Access can be toggled on via a checkbox on the map screen so you can see which ones you actually are supposed to do. This is a great way for players that are coming back or players that are starting brand new will be able to kind of still figure out the best way from 1 to 65 to get to the new content with Star Wars The Old Republic. And that'll do it for this week, folks. As always, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and is that it? I think so, at MMORPG.com without the dot. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at TheBillMurphy. Remember, don't let a bad pug get you down, and have a great week playing some good MMOs.
Make sure to level up your MMO knowledge by visiting MMORPG.com, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and by following us on social media. To catch up on the week's biggest MMO news, watch our latest MMOFTW. And to see if there's a better MMO out there for you, watch one of our latest First Impressions videos. Thanks for watching.